This is not a performance review. This is an unboxing of the Pegasus 39, how they look on feet, how they compare to the previous models, and what's changed. Let's get into it. On first look, you probably would think that the Pegasus 39 hasn't changed much from the Pegasus 38 or the Pegasus 37, but there are a few changes, and it's what we would expect from an odd number update from Nike. If you're not familiar with how Nike roll out their updates to their running shoes, the even number models, so like the 2, the 4, the 6, the 8, etc., generally have pretty minor updates, usually a tweak to the upper or something like that, that doesn't drastically change the shoe itself. The odd number updates though are generally more of an overhaul to the model itself. I'm going to rewind a little bit and talk about some of the issues that the Pegasus has had of late. The Pegasus 37, while it did introduce a whole new midsole setup, it also introduced a shocking fit. I'm not sure what Nike did with the last, but I'm pretty sure it's been universally accepted that they stuffed up and they created a shoe that was incredibly narrow in its fit, and so it did create a problem for a lot of runners who had even a normal width foot. There was also some issues with the heel design, and it was a shame because it was a solid shoe for the most part if you felt comfortable enough in it. The Pegasus 38 did solve a lot of those problems. The fit was definitely an improvement. They redesigned the heel area, and there were some other tweaks to the tongue and whatnot that changed the feel of the shoe on foot. It was a minor update, I guess, but it was a update that had a significant impact to how the 38 felt. The good news is the Pegasus 39, while it does share some similarities in its design to the 37 and 38, has a lot going on that's different. The Pegasus 39 in my US men's 13 comes in at 323 grams, while the Pegasus 38 in my US men's 13 was 363 grams. That's a 40 gram drop in weight, which is pretty impressive. It is more aligned to what the Pegasus 37 weighed. The Pegasus 38 actually had a little weight rise, like a weight increase, whatever, over the Pegasus 37. Pegasus 37 in my US men's 13 comes in at 337 grams. Anyway, with all that out of the way, what have Nike done to the Pegasus 39 to drop the weight and to make it different to the previous versions of the Pegasus? First, there is some of the design elements that have changed. While the shoe silhouette looks very similar to the 37 and 38, there are some subtle differences to the shaping of the midsole. There's some etching here that wasn't there before. More significantly, there is this change to how the midsole looks around the back. In the 36, 37 and 38, the midsole at the back had that triangular tip, whereas now in the 39 it's squared off, and to be honest, I think it looks a lot better like that. The upper as well has been changed. While it feels very similar, if you were to touch them, maybe at a store or something, the mesh from the previous generations has been swapped out for an engineered mesh upper. This is a most welcome change. While it feels the same if you're touching them next to each other, on foot they feel completely different. The engineered mesh does have some more elasticity to it, and while I haven't run in it yet, I would expect this to be more breathable. It probably is lighter weight as well, and that is probably where some of the weight has been dropped from the shoe in this model. The tongue from the 38 carries over to the 39. Look, it's probably not exactly the same, but what I mean by carrying over is that the Pegasus 39's tongue is padded like the 38, and it's not like the one in the 37. The changes don't stop underfoot, with the midsole getting an upgrade. The 37, the 38 and the 39 all have React foam with a Zoom Air unit in the forefoot. The 39 gets an additional Zoom Air unit in the heel, and this is what I'm really interested to try out, to see what difference that makes while running. And then there is the midsole, which is a little bit different underfoot, don't get me wrong. It's not exactly the same as the previous Pegasus models, but I don't think it's that significantly different that it would change how that performs. Most importantly though is the fit. It looks like Nike completely scrapped whatever it is that they worked on for the Pegasus 37 and 38 and went with a totally new last to base the Pegasus 39 on. Just putting these shoes on and walking around in them, they are incredibly comfortable. They really do feel great on foot. There is a lot more room around the midfoot and forefoot area. I guess that mesh is also helping from a comfort perspective, and the elasticity is probably letting that go around the foot a lot better. But then there is the change to the heel, and this kind of has gone back to what the Pegasus 37 had, you know, the flared heel arch here. This was a bit of an issue in the Pegasus 37. The fit on that shoe meant that some people were prone to some heel slippage while running. I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue for the Pegasus 39, but tune in for the performance review and I'll let you all know how it goes. So far, my initial impressions on the shoe after the unboxing and putting them on feet is that this is a cracking upgrade. Sure, it doesn't look like a huge upgrade, but looks can be deceiving. These feel immediately better on foot as soon as you put them on. They are a huge improvement on even the Pegasus 38. Let's not even talk about how much of an improvement they are over the 37. And so I'd be really interested to see what the run dynamics are for this shoe given that improvement in fit and the materials used. I'm keen to know what you guys think about the Pegasus 39, whether you've managed to get your hands on them, because in all honesty, they're a little bit difficult to get here in Australia. The Nike store sold out of them really quick, and not a lot of retailers have stocked these yet. They are starting to get them in, but sizes are pretty limited. Anyway, I'll be back with a performance review. If you have any comments, just leave them down below. But until the next video, laters.